Hello, so today I am going to be showing you how to make a wood flower bouquet. It's size small, and this is what it's going to look like when it is all finished. It has fox lamb ear leaves all throughout, and it has, this particular one has light, very light purple wood flowers all within. And I'm going to show you how to create this. I offer DIY kits in my shop, and so you can go on there and purchase the actual kit to make this bouquet. It comes with everything you see. The only things that you really do need is a hot glue gun and scissors and maybe some wire cutters. So let's get started. I have already dyed my flowers. With the DIY kit that you get, it does come with dye, and you get to choose the color, so you do not have to go with purple. You can choose any color that you'd like. The dye is acrylic paint, so you could even go into a craft store and choose your own color if you would like to be specific on what color you would like. Alright, so let's go ahead. So to create your small wood flower bouquet with the lamb's ear leaf style, you're going to go ahead and stem all your flowers. So what I do to stem the flowers is I put just a little bit of hot glue on the back side of the flower and just poke my wire stem right through there and let it dry. Be careful with hot glue, it will definitely burn you. Alright, so what we're going to do is go ahead and take each flower and just hold it firmly. And we're going to go around and create a circle with our wood flowers, and just position them however you think it looks good. And when you position them this first time here, you can definitely move them up and down and around once we wrap them. So don't worry too much about like the height of them and that they're exactly where you want them, because we can adjust them. You just kind of want them somewhat in the places that you want here. So this is the start of it here. And you just keep holding firm there. A few more to add. With our small bouquet kit, you get 13 wood flowers. They come in ivory. That's the natural color of the wood. And then you can dye it whatever colors you like. All right. We almost have our circle here. Adjust it just a little bit. Pull it in with your hand. And kind of hard to see with my hand there, but that's it there. Super beautiful. So you have just the start there. So what I like to do is I do not like to see the wire stems once the bouquet is fully made. I like the bouquet to have these stems here. So what I do is I trim down the wire stems all the way down, so right where my hand is holding. And usually you do have to trim every wire one by one. It depends on what wire cutters you have. Mine, I use them a lot. So one by one it is for these guys. More here. Alright, so in the kit you'll get the 13 wood flowers, the 13 wire stems, and then you will get a rubber band. With the rubber band, I like to just wrap it right around the bottom of this bouquet because it really helps it hold it together as you're wrapping the floral tape on. So you do get floral tape with it as well. And let's wrap it real good here. Okay, so now we have that rubber band just on the bottom securely wrapped on. All right, I already have my floral tape cut and ready to go. So the bouquet, you're going to want to just put the floral tape and hold it down with your thumb and just wrap it right around. You don't want to go too high with it because once you add the fox lamb ear leaves, you don't want to be able to see that greenery or the floral tape within the greenery. So we'll go ahead and wrap our floral tape, but you want it up enough that it holds your bouquet nice and firm so it won't go anywhere. So once you do a couple wraps around the first area there, then you start moving down with your floral tape. You just spin it, spin it, spin it. And that floral tape, you want it pretty secure there so that it stays tight. So you definitely wrap it firmly all the way down to the bottom. And then I like to go all the way back up. Alrighty. We're all the way back up. And just a little more down. And you're still going to have some floral tape. Go ahead and trim your floral tape. Now with floral tape, it is sticky, so you could just stick this part right down. How I just like to put a little bit of hot glue there, make sure it really sticks. So put just a dot of hot glue where that floral tape ends, like that. And now we have our bouquet. Now it's not perfectly shaped anymore because I kind of moved it around and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is the wire stems aren't completely secure in there just yet. So I can adjust them. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to move them up and down and maybe out a little bit some. Really just till I get the shape that I want. I like my bouquets rounded. I actually have two different styles that I do. I do like more of a wild bouquet, and then I have more of my rounded bouquets. So this style is a rounded one. Okay, so let's look at it from far away. Make sure it looks good for our bride and bridesmaids. Okay, so we have a beautiful wood flower bouquet there. So now we just need to add the leaves. So, back up, sorry. Now what we're going to do is not add the leaves. I like to secure the wire stems so that you can't adjust them anymore, so they stay exactly how I just positioned them. So I like to put a little bit of hot glue kind of in this hole on top here. Make sure it doesn't get on your fingers, but I just take this and I do like a nice pull of hot glue in there. Those wire stems aren't going anywhere once that hot glue dries. So we have that secure, and then we'll set that down, let that dry. I like to put it in like a mason jar just so it's upright so the hot glue doesn't come out. And we will get our wire stem, or our fox lambere leaves. So this is how they come here. You get two stems on them. What I do is I trim off the first stem there. You have this. Now, I actually take off some of the leaves before I add it onto the small bouquet, just so that the leaves aren't wrapped up within the handle area. We don't need that. We can use these extra leaves. So I like to take this first one off and then these three off. And then I just trim these little guys here, so those are gone. So then you have this part of the leaf, and you have the three-piece one off and the single one off on this one, okay? And then for this long one here, I go ahead and I take the single one off, and then these two singles off, like so. And then just trim these, like that, okay? So with the small bouquet, you get two of those within your bouquet, because you only need 4 to wrap it around. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one as well. Trim, pull off the 3 and pull off the 1, trim these, okay, and then the 1, single and single, right, trim, trim, trim. All right, so we have these ready. Our hot glue is dry by now. Let me set these aside. All right, so we have our floral tape ready to go. I always like to set it in my lap so I know exactly where it's at. So once I have everything set up, I'm not going, oh no, what did I do with that floral tape? And I'm trying to hold a bouquet and everything. So here our bouquet is. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our stems, and you just place it right on the side of your bouquet. I like to have some of the leaves coming up from the top there so you can see them at the top of the bouquet. And you really just work around with your stems and put them on however you like. And just make sure you hold those on firmly. And here we go. Go around. And then last one here. Right in. Adjust that a little bit. Right in here. Now, occasionally, I mean, the wood flowers can break a little bit. If you ever get any little bit of breakage on your wood flowers, that's really noticeable, especially if you have a darker color, say like burgundy. Just keep a little bit of your dye and you just touch it right up and you'll never be able to tell that there was even a breakage there at all. So that's a good tip there. If your flower ends up being for some reason like completely like smushed on the outside but not on the middle, you can take the extra petals off and then add paint onto it to not see the ivory underneath. Okay, so once you have the lamb's ear leaves there, you're going to want to go ahead and take your floral tape again and go up as high as you can there, right where the leaves hit, and start wrapping your leaves on. Now you're going to have some really long stems here. We're going to trim those, and we're actually going to use some of those trimmings for the stems at the bottom, because right now we only have 2 long stems here, and we need more. I usually like to put in about at least 4. So go ahead and wrap this around. All the way. I like to go to where I first trimmed the shorter lamb's ear leaf stems. There we go. A little bit back up. Okay, so then we can trim that off. And again, I like to add a little bit of hot glue to my floral tape. Okay. So then what I like to do is trim these long guys off here. We definitely do not want them that long. So we'll go ahead and take our wire cutters. What you want to make sure, obviously, before you cut is that you're cutting where you want your stems to end. So you don't want them too long, and you definitely don't want them too short. So we're going to gauge it here, and I would say about here. And we'll do the other one. There we go. Okay, so now we have just 2 little stems here coming out the bottom. We need more, so we have these. So what I like to do is just kind of position them, not above the floral tape, but right underneath it there, and it creates an extra stem there. Here's one. We'll just put this on this side here, and then so you have 4 stems coming off the bottom. So you take your floral tape, and we're going to wrap that. There it is. Right, I forgot to put it on my lap and I lost it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap those on. Wrap that all around. Make sure they're on there really securely, because we do not want stems falling out of it. And I ran out of floral tape there, so I'm just going to grab a bit more. Okay. So I like to put the floral tape pretty much down to wherever I want the ribbon to be. So I just keep going until I go, okay, that looks like a pretty good handle size there, and for the ribbon. So a little bit more. All right, back up, really secure there. Trim off our floral tape, add a little bit of hot glue. Now with these DIY kits, I offer different sizes. I offer a mini, which is really popular for the Toss Bouquet, and then the small is really popular for bridesmaids because they're really affordable. Then I offer small medium, which is a little bit bigger than this one, and then we go to the medium and the large. The medium and the large is what I usually suggest for the bride. I have, however, had brides purchase a large for themselves and then the medium for their maid of honor, and then smalls for the rest. Okay, so you're going to want to trim off the additional stems here so they're all the same length. Alright. And just position them so they're good there. Alright, so you pretty much have it done. Now you could stop here. If you do not want any greenery on the top, you do not have to add any. It's super beautiful without any greenery, and you have all the greenery on the sides and everything. I like to add just a bit of greenery. It will look like this one here. So to add that greenery, you're going to go back to the leaves that you took off originally. So what you're going to do is, I like to get a mason jar and set it in there so I can just really be hands-free. So you're going to want to take your leaf and put a little bit of hot glue on it, and then just really wherever you think that it's going to look good, you kind of bend the flowers a little bit and get it in there. Alright, just like that. And we're going to get another flower here. Now if you get the 3-piece one, you can just trim these right off, or you can use them like that if you want 3 pieces, 3 leaves sticking out. I prefer to have them separate, especially on the small bouquets, and the 3 leaves kind of really overpower the top of it. Let's see here. I think it'll look great on this one, so we're going to put that in there. See what I'm doing so far. I've got a couple in there. Now I like to spin it a little bit because we don't want all of the leaves going in one angle. Mix it up a bit. Let's see. Here, looks good. And I spun it a little bit and adding another one, hot glue onto the leaf there, just on the bottom part of the leaf, so that it secures onto the flowers. And I open up the flower a little bit, just enough to really get that leaf in there. On the top, I think I want maybe one more over here, but I feel like I want a small one. So let's do this one. And let's have it go that way. Okay. Last one. So with this design that I have up in my shop, it is shown on there with the dusty purple wood flowers. So this one is filled with like a medium purple. This one here obviously is a light purple. The dusty purple, I usually do a gray satin ribbon stem wrap. This particular bride wanted to do a golden wrap. I have not picked up her ribbon yet. That is my next step from the store. So I'm making all of her items, and then I'm going to go pick up her ribbon. So unfortunately I do not have that to add today, but I did somewhat recently create a video on how to wrap ribbon on the stems. You can find that on my channel, and it's a burgundy ribbon that I wrapped. So definitely please check that out. If you'd like to purchase one of these kits, the DIY kits, please visit my Etsy shop. It is called Love to Do It Yourself. Love is spelled L-U-V, the number 2, and then do it yourself. And you can find all different kinds of bouquet kits and wood flowers, and I can even create them for you. So this particular bride wanted me to do it all, so I am, which I absolutely love to do. So you can go ahead and book a package with me. All right, please comment below if you have any questions for me. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you like this, please subscribe, because I will be teaching tons more. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.